talk about alignment. Not a long lesson and not a complex lesson at all. Alignment, in fact, is one of the most simple things in the world to understand in the sport of golf. There are a lot of other pieces that are a lot more complex and difficult to study. Alignment's not one of them. It's really easy. With it being this simple and easy, why do we tend to screw it up so much? Well, that's mainly what I want to talk about. The very first phase that I would talk to you about is people don't practice it very intelligently. So got to go to the store if you don't already have one and get yourself an alignment stick. I in fact encourage 2 alignment sticks the way that I like to practice and teach alignment. Alignment sticks at a golf store are very common. They're usually between 10 and 15 bucks. However, Home Depot or Lowe's has them. They're called a driveway marker. Just ask for driveway markers. It's the exact same stick that they sell in the golf store. In the golf store, they'll stick a golf sticker on it. Why is it that everything that has golf associated with it is 4 times the price it should be? Anyway, I won't get started on that. So alignment sticks. The reason you need an alignment stick is that you put it on the ground you put one on the ground at your feet, completely parallel to your intended target. And that's going to show you where to put your body lines. And then I like to take a second one. I hope you can see it out there in the camera, and point it straight down the target line. So in other words, I want it in front of my golf shot, a couple of 3 feet, and pointed directly at the target. Both of these are parallel to each other. Proper aim means that your body lines, the line created by your feet, your knees, your hips, and your shoulders, are parallel to your intended target line. Now, I see some people use alignment sticks when they're practicing and still line up very incorrectly. So one, if it's something that you notice that you're not very good at, or if you put a stick down and you go, oh my gosh, I'm like 30 yards right or left of the target, then make sure that your feet, if you can see me in this one, but your feet are very close to the stick so you don't get too much disparity. In other words, if one foot is 6 inches off the line, then you're not lined up right. You want it as parallel to that stick as you can. The other thing is, it's not just our feet, knees, hips, and shoulders. Particularly what I see is the shoulders. I see a lot of people that are meticulous with their foot line, but their shoulders are cocked open or closed during the golf shot. And if you're wherever your shoulders go, it has a large factor on where that. If my shoulders are pointed left, then my club and arms want to go to the left. If my shoulders are pointed to the right, then my club and arms tend to want to go to the right. So just make sure that everything is parallel by putting 2 sticks on the ground to help you. Really, in alignment, that's it. I want to explain a couple of factors in alignment that greatly influence your ability to be able to hit it. And it's stuff that messes with your thoughts, and it's stuff that messes with what I call that spirit man inside of us. So step one, who cares what anybody else thinks? You know, almost everybody would say, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Well, then why don't you have an alignment stick at the ground when you're practicing? Well, nobody else does, and I don't want to look weird. I rarely see recreational players put a stick on the ground. If you watch like the PGA Tour players practice, then frequently they have a stick on the ground. It's not a beginnery or weak thing to do. It's an intelligent thing to do. You could spend an hour practicing, but you're practicing compensations because you are aimed wrong. So when you aim incorrectly, you can't hit the ball straight. That's not true. If I line myself up, obviously this would be 50 or 60 yards to the right of the target. Well, then I can't hit the ball. Then I can't hit the ball to the target. Apparently, that's categorically incorrect. I hit that pretty close to the dead center of the line on the driving range. So what difference does it make if you don't line up correctly? Here's the difference. It's not that I can't hit the shot there by doing that. What I cannot do is swing correctly and hit the ball down that line. A proper golf swing has many factors in it. The relationship of my arms to my body, the plane of the golf swing matching up with that line, the time that I release it with the release of my hips and my body and my weight transfer and the follow through. I can't do any of that if I'm lined up this way. Can I hit it to the target? Yes. But I have to do a bunch of goofy stuff in my golf swing in order to make that happen. if you want a more traditionally correct swing, if you want a swing that can consistently produce better and better results, then you have to do it as close as possible to good alignment. Okay, that's it. In the short term, if because you tend to hit the ball to the right all the time, you're aiming yourself to the left. If because you hit the ball to the left all the time, you aim yourself to the right. The other reason I always see people aim themselves to the right is because by pulling the golf ball, a lot of dynamics happen that make the ball go farther. Okay, if distance is your number one concern, then you got me. It will go farther. On a launch monitor, when you do it that way, it lowers the spin rate quite a bit. So by lowering the spin rate and lowering the trajectory, you made it harder to control, like where it stops. For one thing, it's not high enough to stop in time. So like when you play golf, you'd have to roll it through the fairway and rough up onto the green. You couldn't hit the green because it would just roll off of it, kind of thing. At any rate, a ton of factors that make, gaining the extra 10 yards you might get from pulling it like that to lining up correctly is definitely not worth it. Your score will be better if you give up the 10 yards and learn how to swing from proper aim. That's it. Okay. So once again, that's a physical explanation. A little bit on the mental. Don't follow everybody else. Remember, your mom said, if everybody else jumped off a bridge, would you? Right? Yeah, but don't jump off the bridge. Be intelligent. Put a stick down when you practice. Go even farther. Put one stick for your body lines and one stick in front, so it trains your eyes to see it. Our perceptions are often wrong. People think Tim thinks he's lined up right, and in reality, when you're standing behind me, if I don't have a stick down, you're going, "Wow, dude, you're like 20 yards to the right." And I don't mean to. That's just what can happen. Why? Well, just because of perceptions. Think about the way that we aim in golf. You stand to the side, you bend over, and if I'm looking at you, if I was left-handed, if I look at it this way, my head's tilted. So it's really easy to understand why a lot of people's perceptions can get off when it comes to alignment. Just let the sticks guide what you do. It's much easier, and you'll be right most of the time. Okay, results. Results is the other thing. People that tend to hit the ball to the right tend to line up to the left. It's intelligent. People that hit the ball to the right tend to line up to the left. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. What I'm encouraging, though, is while you're practicing, try to build something that'll be more stable, right? So just dedicate yourself to alignment. The mental tool is, once again, school. You passed grip class, you passed grip pressure class, and now you're in alignment class. You still got that same strict teacher, so she doesn't care where you hit it. You just better line up right? Let go of the stupid result, and it's not hard to line up. A 3-year-old could put their feet, they could stand sideways to an objective out in front of them, so you don't have to work out or concentrate really. It just is alignment, you know what I mean? The only time you make it hard is when you chuck in the result. Add the result, and all of a sudden it feels really hard to hit it good. Just hit enough balls from this alignment, and given enough time, and of course some more golf lessons, some more learning, some more about how to hit a golf shot, we can build a correct swing around this kind of alignment. Then you become the type of golfer that you're scared to play against. Spiritually, gosh, I even pulled out the Bible app for this one. So it really is a good segue into that spiritual part, is to lay down that result and be led. It's not up to you to control the show and where you hit it. I got to line up to the right, or otherwise I won't hit it far and drop it. In Proverbs 14:12, there's a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death. Yeah, pretty dire consequences for not lining up to hit a golf shot. Well, that's not actually the consequence for hitting a golf shot. Never seen anybody die. I kind of felt like, going home and pouting for a long time, but death, yeah, no, golf's not quite that important for me. But the scripture is still very, very pertinent. You're killing your chances to become the best golfer you can be when you allow yourself to line up to the right or line up to the left to compensate for something that's happening out there. Stay out of the results long enough. Your result through this lesson is alignment. That's it. Make it really easy on yourself. Okay, next we're going to go to ball position. It's also incredibly simple, but has a lot of big ramifications. Hang on.